Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Got an ICP video for you guys today. Also going to cover Bitcoin and what's going on with that chart and how it's going to affect the bull run here. So I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and let's jump into it. All right, today we're going to cover ICP, but I also want to jump into Bitcoin's chart, take a look at that here, show you what's going on with the chart for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin pretty much controls the entire crypto market. So if Bitcoin isn't being bullish, we're not going to be able to take out our profits on ICP, and we're not going to get a bull run. So let's jump into it here. Currently, we're at just under 2.4 trillion market cap as of this recording. Bitcoin around 62,000. It did crash down to, I think it was 59,000 just the other day, like 58,500, somewhere in that range. It took a spike, a wick down, and then spiked back up. So back up to 62,000 as of this recording. Now, this could fluctuate, obviously, between when I'm recording this and when this video comes out. So just keep that in mind. ETH around 3,400, holding pretty strong. The alts are holding really strong, even when Bitcoin jumped down to just under 59,000, which is a good sign that alts are not going to get completely crushed if we get a bigger correction on Bitcoin. Hopefully, it was a good sign that they've held their status, and they actually, didn't hardly dump at all while Bitcoin was dumping the last couple days. So, good sign that alts are holding strong, and it kind of brought the Bitcoin dominance down a little bit from what it was just a few weeks ago. So that's a good sign here. We're going to jump into this chart with Bitcoin here. Take a look at this before we jump into ICP, because like I said, it's critical to know what's going on with Bitcoin, because if we don't get a bull run, Bitcoin controls the bull run. If we don't get a bull run, we're not going to have any profit taking on our alts. And I want to show you my profit taking strategy for ICP if we get a bull run. So I'm going to cover this here. So we did make a lower high, which is a kind of a bad sign, but it's not confirmed as a bearish signal until we make a lower low. We have not made a lower low yet, so I'm hoping we don't. As long as we keep closing above this level here and don't come down below this like 61,400 level here, we keep closing above this, we're still in a bullish mode with Bitcoin. We don't want to make a lower low, because if we do that, then we're probably going to come down to the low 50,000 range here, at least the 56,000 range. Hit this area again where we wicked down here around 56,400. So hopefully we don't do that, but we did wick down here to 58,400 just a couple days ago. So we'll have to see what happens here. I'm hoping we hold this and continue on up with a bull run here in July. July is typically where we start turning a little bit bullish before we take off into August and September. So we'll have to see and kind of pray that we hold out here and don't get any lower. If we do, we're going to come down probably quite a ways, and that could, not potentially end the bull run per se, but it could put us in a bearish market for quite a while before we take off into a bull run. I'm not going to give up hope if that happens, that we're not going to get a bull run, because we still have the liquidity cycle with more liquidity coming into the market. We have a presidential election, and hopefully the Fed is going to lower interest rates, coming up here in the next few months. So hopefully that will still push us into a bull market. We can hold out until then. We also have the Ethereum ETFs coming up here in just a week or so, so we have to keep that in mind as well. That could help prop up the market as well. And now that Bitcoin's dominance is down a little bit, maybe ETH can take off with the ETF and help us out a little bit. So still keep our fingers crossed here. Now let's jump into ICP and take a look at that. The ICP is currently at $8.31 as of this recording, guys. If we take a look at the chart here over the past year, and we were down just under $3, when would have been a real steal to pick up a bunch of ICP back here. I did pick up like 1,000 ICP back around this $4 mark here. That's my average. I picked up 1,000 of them with my Solana profits while Solana was bullish. Took out profits on Solana, put it into ICP at $4, and so far it's paid off for me really well. I also bought a bunch of other alts that I did really well on with those profits. So but I wanted to pick up some ICP while it was still low, and I'm glad I did that, because I think ICP is going to do really well in this bull run. So at $8, it's still a good buy. It's only 2x from my buy. I think ICP is going much higher than where it's at right now. My price target on this one, and don't quote me on this, guys, but this is my personal feeling on this. You guys come up with your own price predictions for these coins. Don't just copy what I'm doing. I'm going to show you my profit taking strategy with ICP and show you where I plan on taking out profits on this one if we get a bull run. So keep that in mind. And my price targets tend to be conservative over other people's in some cases, but some people may find my price targets bullish. I don't know. A lot of people think ICP is going way over $100. I think it's going to top out around $100 at the most at this bull run, but it's possible it could go higher. Just because if you take a look at the market cap here at $8, it's at 4 million market cap, just under that approximately, so around $8.50. But we do have some more coins coming into circulation I'm going to show you here in a little bit, so we got to take that into consideration. There's going to be some more coins coming into circulation every month with their vesting schedule from early investors. So basically, if we approximate about a 4 million market cap for $8, if you were to take that times and basically get a 40 billion market cap, which I think is very, very realistic for ICP, that's an $80 ICP pretty much. And that's pretty easy to do for ICP, I think, in this bull run, especially with the total market cap is expected to be close to 10 trillion this time around. Some people think up to 20 trillion. I think that's too high, but I could be wrong on that. I'm thinking somewhere in the 7 to 10 trillion, 10 trillion at the most for this total market cap of crypto. But if ICP captures a good amount of that, I'm thinking it's probably going to get up to that $75 to $100 range. It is possible that if it were to double that $80 price target and hit $160, that still is only going to put it around a 80 billion market cap, which is what Solana did last bull run. So it is possible that ICP were to do that this time around. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just trying to be conservative on my price targets, not be too greedy and wait for those crazy dollar amounts, but I might leave in 10 or 20% of my tokens in case it gets higher than that price point if we get this bull run and everything goes well. So that's the big factor we got to take into consideration here. So if you take a look at ICP's vesting schedule here on cryptorank.io, you can look this up yourself and see the vesting schedule. They have more unlocks for these tokens coming out here, and basically, they have the seed and private sale investors, early backers, strategic round, pre-sale. Pre-sale is done, and the airdrops are done with this one, and the early backers are done. But we still have some of this strategic round and seed and private sale round that are going to be going into the market for quite some time here. And then July 10th, it's the 10th of every month pretty much, around almost 200 million tokens comes into the supply. So it's going to dilute the valuation a little bit each month, and by a little bit, about 0.5% or so. So keep that in mind. It's just something that you got to take into consideration. So when you're figuring your price targets, you got to add a little bit of these coins into the circulation. So it's going to dilute it a little bit, but not too bad over the course of the next year. So if you look between now and July of next year, you're looking at probably about 6% of the tokens approximately coming into supply. Maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 5% or something. So you have to calculate that out and see what the actual amount is going to be. I haven't actually calculated it out. I'm just kind of doing it in my head. So keep that in mind. So there are a little bit of unlocks coming into the circulation every month for the next year or so on this one, but it's always had that, and the price has kept up pretty well with that. So we'll jump into my profit taking strategy here for ICP, and you guys don't copy this. This is just mine. If you want to copy that's fine. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you copy this. These are my price target strategies and when I plan on taking out my profits on Solana if it does well and if we get a bull run. So that's another thing to take into consideration. I have it on here. These prices are not guaranteed. These are my personal take profit number estimates and are not financial advice. Crypto is risky and any asset could go to zero, so keep that in mind. So first of all, I got 1,000 ICP tokens and I'm going to sell 10%. I'm planning on selling that around the $44 mark to get out a little bit more of my initial investment. I had about $4,000 invested into that. So that'll get up my initial investment, and then I'm riding on the next 90% of my tokens here in complete profit, all profit with this. So I would plan on cashing out about another 20% once we hit around $59, somewhere in that range. And these aren't exact. May adjust this a little bit, depending on how far we are into the cycle and how ICP is doing. So you got to keep that in mind as well. You need to be somewhat flexible. The main point is to make sure you're cashing out on the way up, because you don't know when this market is going to stop and crash. It's possible the market's already over and we're just going to keep going down from here. I don't think that's the case, but it is a possibility. So you want to take out your profits on it. To me, it's too early personally for me to start taking profits out on my ICP. If I don't hit it this bull run, I think eventually it's going to get there. So I'm not taking on my profits yet at the current prices. It did get up to almost $20 recently, which was almost a 5x for me. I could have taken out some profits on it then, but I decided not to. I'm going to wait because it was early. So basically the next 20%, I would plan on taking out around that $74 mark before we hit the $75 price point with this one. That's going to get out almost another $15,000 in profit. And then my third 20%, this is going to put me, this would have been half of my coins right here that I would have taken out. So I would have been, about 12 plus 14, about 26,000, a little over 26,500 dollars in complete profit here after my initial is out. And then the next 20% I would take out, I plan on taking out around that $89, somewhere in that range. It's going to give me almost $18,000 in profit. And then my last 20% here, probably take out just before it hits $100. Then I'll leave a 10% moon bag in here in case it gets over $100. But I would probably definitely cash that out, before it hits like $125, just to be careful and safe with that. Not be too greedy. $81,000 out of this initial $4,000 investment is pretty darn good. You're looking at a $77,000 total profit out of this after taking this out, after taking out my initial on this one. So that's really good gains from one coin in my portfolio, one out of many. So I would be more than happy with this and not be don't want to be too greedy. Hopefully I'm not being too greedy with my price estimates. I think it's realistic for ICP. Does it mean it's going to hit it? No. But ICP is doing true artificial intelligence on the blockchain, which other projects are not doing. And they have one of the best, some of the best tech in crypto, period. And everything they do is actually on chain. So you got to keep that in mind as well. And it's extremely fast and cheap. And this internet computer is an absolute monster, and I think it's just a matter of time before it takes off and has its run and its time in the market here. So that's pretty much what I got for this video, guys. If you're holding ICP in your portfolio, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. I would also love to hear you guys your price targets for ICP, when you would start taking out your profits on it. I wouldn't wait till your top price target to take out any profits, guys. You don't want to do that because you can easily get burned in the bull run and be stuck with no profits at all. Don't be greedy. Don't be foolish. Start taking out some profits well before your price target, and that way you got your funds secured and off to the side. And you're not sitting there at the end of the bull run with no money in your savings account or whatever. A lot of you out there being foolish and spending your profits ahead of time, so be careful of that as well. And just live within your means and be frugal in that until your profits are in the bank or in stable coins or whatever you want to do with it. And just be careful, guys. But I'd love to hear from you guys about your ICP portfolios and price targets in the description below, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video.